Greg, 1 year under your belt. How are you feeling in year two?
I feel a lot more confident. Going into year one, I was a little nervous just because it's just a new experience. Something that I've been wanting to do my whole life is to get to the NFL, and now I was there. The moment, I wouldn't say it was too big, but it was just overwhelming. This year, I just feel a lot more confident going into this year.
Playing inside, what's that been like for you? Like I said, talked about new experiences. Has that been a challenge on its own?
For sure. My body hurts, and it's been 2 games, but it's definitely been a challenge, but it's been really fun. I'm able to be around the ball a lot more, so I'm able to make a lot more plays, so I really enjoy it.
Cleveland has experienced some heartbreakers. Week 2 seemed like maybe one of the tougher ones. How did you feel about it afterwards?
Oh, I was mad. I didn't want to talk to anybody after the game, for real. Just because, that was 2 weeks in a row, really, where we honestly could have been 0-2, to be honest. So just knowing there's just easy things, that we could clean up, and at the end of the day, I feel like we're beating ourselves at this point. It's not like, they're just going across and just beating us one-on-one. We got to fix the communication, but I was super mad after that game.
We were there with you guys while you guys were getting ready in the locker room to head out, and it seemed like that was kind of the general consensus of people were just really upset. How did you feel your teammates handled it? Were you okay with that frustration? Do you want guys to be frustrated?
For sure. I mean, that just shows, how talented we are, and I feel like everyone in the locker room knows that. The fact that everyone is mad, obviously it's a long season, and that was only week 2, and to see, guys that mad after just a week 2 loss just shows the promise of this team. So, there's one thing of, obviously we lost, and I don't think we should have lost, but I feel like if we use this moment and learn from it, that we can make huge strides going into week 3 and then the rest of the season.
You talked about those miscommunication issues that have been happening on defense. It's week 2, it's early in the season, but it seems to have lingered on. How are you feeling about correcting those? It's early, but those kind of same mistakes, does that get frustrating on its own?
Yes, it does. I feel like it's frustrating just knowing that at practice we are communicating, we are over communicating, and some things take longer. So hopefully going into week 3 and then later on we correct that. But we're going to do everything in our power to get that fixed.
Well, we're here in week 3, right? But it's a short week. How hard has it been to put the Jets out of mind on a short week and prepare for the Steelers?
It's definitely tough. Like I said, I hate losing, so usually it takes me a few days to get over losses. I know Coach always says next game mentality, but for me personally, it takes me a few days. So just knowing we play Thursday, kind of got to wipe it out. We weren't even, you're not even able to really watch too much of the Jets film just because you got a game in 3-4 days. So it's definitely tough, but it's Steelers week, so we're super excited.
So I was going to ask you next. It's a divisional rivalry, but it's the rivalry here in Cleveland. How much of that history plays into how you prepare for this game?
I would lie saying that, one game is not more important. I feel like, this for the city, for the fans, this is one of the most important games of the season. So we're definitely, we all know that. We all know the history. We're going to obviously prepare the exact same we do every single week, but there is that, added extra motivation beating the Steelers.
Now, the fans were frustrated, obviously, after Sunday's loss. Is this game against the Steelers a way to maybe prove yourselves to the fans, to get them back and excited about not just the defense, but the team as a whole?
For sure. I think really first it just starts off with just proving it to ourselves that we are that defense. We know what we can do. We've showed that last season, but it's a new season. We gotta re-show it again. And like I said at practice, I feel like we're doing an amazing job. So now we just gotta find a way, to put that on the field. And definitely, I know the fans did boo, and I don't blame them. I would have booed us too after a loss like that, just being up, that late. So we're more frustrated with ourselves, after a game like that. So we're definitely looking to prove ourselves right.
So taking that frustration that the fans have experienced and you guys have experienced yourself, what has those preparations looked like for you as you're preparing for the Steelers?
I feel like, we're just a lot more focused out there. Just making sure all the checks, all the calls are crisp, making sure that our technique is crisp so, we don't make any more of those mistakes.
What's your message to the fans going into this game?
For sure. My message to the fans is just to, stick with us. It was week 2, we're 1-1. Obviously, I feel like we should have been 2-0, but it's a long season. We're going to need them, especially down the stretch and especially right now. So just stick with us, and we'll make them proud by the end of the season.